Recording.
All right, we're back. And I've got a confession to make. How about another DRZ? And this is a bike you might have seen on the channel before. It's one I've repaired for the farmer a few times, done a few different things. And we did a petcock upgrade and did some repairs. And, you know, the farmer came to me and he said, Dewey, I think I'm ready to sell the DRZ. Do you want it? And I was like, well, I need another bike, like I need a hole in the head. So I offered it to my coworker who doesn't have a bike. And he decided that he's going to electric convert his mountain bike, which, well, you know, I didn't know he was gay, but I guess he's gay. That's kind of weird because he's got a family, but anyway, I was like, you know, how much do you want for it, farmer guy? And he gave me a number, and I was like, man, that's a good old boy discount. And he said, well, you know the bike, and I wanted to go into a good place. And what he ended up getting was a CRF 300L. So we may do some modifications on that bike along the lines of the Jake the Garden Snake build, which I'm excited about that. Of course, since I'm a pretty good pal with old Jakey Poo now, I called him Jakey Poo with Jake, and we might do a build on that. We might. I don't know how far he wants to go. And the key is you know, they didn't want to mess with the petcock. They didn't want to mess with the petcock stuff anymore, and, you know, take care of the carburetor. They wanted to move to fuel injection, and I can't blame them. You know, they're farmers. They need to have their stuff ready to go when they need it. And there's a few times they messed up and left the petcock on and hydrolocked this engine and had to drain the oil and do this and that and the other. And, you know, these I even replaced the needle seat and the needle, float needle for this. Got some loose gravel there. I had to fill in some of my ruts with something. Anyway, I did that, and you just can't trust these stock CV carburetors with fuel left on them. Some of you guys that have left your petcock on the prime function know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I bought this bike for a song, for an absolute song. So we got some plans for it. I'm not going to let that out of the bag just yet, but I got some plans for it. I got plans. So what am I doing out in the vineyard with this bike and its sexy windshield? Well, I was out here spraying yesterday, and I lost my dadgum knife. It's my Milwaukee multi-purpose knife, and I went out here after I got done spraying and the light was failing, and I just could not find it. And this is my second lap around the vineyard, and I'm not finding anything, and I'm really distraught about it because I really like that knife. It's lightweight. It's one of the ones that has the razor blades that you can replace in it, and it had a screwdriver where you can switch out from a Phillips to a standard screwdriver, and it had a locking blade on it. Just super cool knife. So I'm hoping it'll turn up somewhere stupid in the building, or I'm gonna have to go through the tractor. I used it to cut open a material bag, and I put it back in my pocket. Not in my pocket, I put it on the slide, and that was the last time I saw it. So it could have gone somewhere in a nook or cranny in the tractor, but I've already gone through it, and aside from really getting serious, I just wanted to scan out here in the vineyard before, because this is the next day, before the rain hits, because I don't want the thing to sit out with the rain. That'd be a real bummer. But I'm out here patrolling the vineyard looking for it, and I thought I'd talk, kind of vlog about it, you know. And what are we gonna do with this bike? The engine is solid. It's not making a bunch of noise or anything. There's really nothing more to do, unless I do. But I want a bike that I can keep. I can make my adventure bike. I want to keep this, as goofy as it is, I want to keep this windscreen. And I want to be able to put these S wheels on there and have it stock SM gearing on it so I can go the highway at lower RPMs. But if I do that, I kind of want to have a little bit more engine. And if I want to have more engine, I'm going to want to have a proper exhaust. This just has a slip-on FMF. And if I'm going to have a little bit more engine and build it like I do the other bikes, you know, I'm going to have a flat slide. So we're going to build an engine, we're going to put a flat slide on it, and we're going to put a full Barker's exhaust on it. But we're not done yet. I haven't made up my mind what I'm going to do, but, you know, I want to have a bike. You know, this thing is not the prettiest, but it's also not a piece of crap, you know. But I want a DRZ that I can take to the stunt lot. So I want to be able to put my SM wheels on it and do supermoto things with it and scrape it and do a lot of other stuff. So, you know, it's not the proper thing to do, but I just want to be able to leave my chain alone and just switch the wheels out. And what I want to try to do, I want to try to attempt just leaving the S suspension on this thing. But if not, I'm prepared to go to the SM suspension. I've got a shock, I've got a set of trees, and I've got the fork tubes as a backup for this already. Just through some different trades and things that I've done. I've got those materials because parts is parts. Oh, I got my work cut out for me in the vineyard. They've got vines on the ground. So we're going to do a build on it, and you know, I'm not going to show the whole engine build. I've got another engine that I'm building already. I've got a whole nother set of parts to be able to build that engine properly. So what am I doing? If I'm going to be the DRZ whisperer, I'm going to have 3 freaking DRZs that are stroker big bores. But in this configuration, this bike doesn't need to be a stroker. So we're going to take our time with it. You know, what does that mean for this channel? You know, I'm going to kind of do an overview of what I'm going to do to this bike and how that evolves. We're going to do some rides with it, and we're going to have some fun. Fun is key. So that's kind of what we're doing. My objective is fun. Yeah. So, well, we did our best to search, and we didn't find my knife, so that's a bummer. So I already cracked the cases on the engine, brother. That will be going in this, and you know, the next step for that is to pull the bearings out of it, clean up the cases really good, and start the rebuild, inspection of the transmission, and all that business. So that's in the process. That's in the works. I'm excited about it. Oh man, I just can't stay away from these bikes, man. So hopefully I get that engine built and broke in. I think what I'll do initially is leave this in S trim while I'm doing that, just because, let's just face it, this is a lot more forgiving. This is a lot more forgiving than the E model. I got these big factory mirrors. I'm gonna leave them on there. Oh man, what am I doing? But yeah, that's the plan right now, and we'll see what happens as this story goes along here. So I started working on this bike 4 or 5 years ago, and we just keep finding our way back together. It's got a nice seat, concept seat on it, which is sweet. It's comfortable. I don't know if it's a tall or if it's a comfort seat or like a wide comfort or wide tall. I think they've kind of changed their design subtly over the years, and this one's been on there for quite some time. It's got the factory tail light on it. They just cut off the fender a certain kind of way, and they made it work. I've already done the paperwork on this and got the tag. It's registered to me. It's insured, so we're not out there doing our own thing, being illegal or anything. We will be selling the two-stroke. We will be selling the YZ250. The idea was for it to be a stunt bike for me, and it's a heck of a bike. It's cool. It's a great bike, but it's, you know, I guess I'm just not hardcore enough for a two-stroke. I've done some things with it that I never thought I would, and I'm proud of it. I got a friend that wants to buy it in dirt trim, so we will be taking the Supermoto wheels off of it. Those do bolt up to my YZ400, so that's kind of exciting. So we may put that on there at some point to have a B set of wheels. We might not. The question is why. And you know, and I'm not afraid to make the statement. I couldn't say no. You know, I don't do drugs. I don't do like really bad stuff. I don't do a lot of illegal activities. You know, I bust a wheelie here and there or anything. But if I was going to have a vice, bikes, I guess, is the vice to have. So hopefully, you know, I get all this primary work done, and I want to take this thing on a kind of an adventure bike, or an adventure ride, if you will, out to western Kansas, and view the monument rocks. And so that would be, I think that'd be about 400 or 500 miles. So I'm gonna have to get some soft bags and a couple things for it. But my thought is, with that extra grunt of the engine, that extra power that it'll have, I'll be able to run SM gearing and just ride this dude out there and have a ball. Again, in S trim, and with another member of the Patreon from Jake the Garden Snake. We have quite a culture there. So if you're not a member of Jake the Garden Snake's Patreon, all right, I just want to show you something real quick. If you're not a member of that, join it for $1 a month. But so I'm not really tucked. I'm just kind of hunkered a little bit behind this windscreen, and I'm sure you can hear the wind noise. Of course, the wind's probably 15-20 mile an hour. But even with me not tucked and just staying, I'm catching wind, but not a lot. This is pretty comfortable. I'm cruising around 50 miles an hour. I can see everything around me. I feel comfortable. I feel pretty good. So we're kicked it up to about 55. Wow, this is great. What do I not like about this bike? It's got a stock header on it, and it does not have a heat shield on it. And I'm a dumbass, and I'm out here in shorts. I'm actually exposing my tan line. Ugh. But anyway, I don't like that. You know, I don't like the stock engine. I don't like the stock carburetor, but could I do everything I wanted to do without doing much at all to this thing? Absolutely. But I think that's a tremendous opportunity, again, since I've already started on it, to do something that's content for my channel and as a project. Keep me out of trouble. Keep my mind busy. Yeah, the wind is definitely picking up. But anyway, that's it for this confession video. I hope you stayed to the end. Hope you did in fact enjoy it. I just hope that you stick around until next time. Consider subscribing and liking and watch my other videos and comment. It helps. I want to grow this channel to over 1,000 this year. Let's make it happen. See you next time.